आज हम पढ़ेंगे इंग्लिश लिटरेचर के रिलेटेड जो जनरल नॉलेज है इसके बारे में। ये बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट है रिगार्डिंग टू एसएस टेस्ट और जितनी भी लेक्चरशिप की जो टेस्ट है के उनके हवाले से। द पीरियड ऑफ इंग्लिश ओल्ड इंग्लिश स्टार्टेड फ्राम 450 AD. The Anglo-Saxon period ended in 1066 AD. The tribe of Anglo-Saxons spoke which language? Old English. Who was Beowulf? A warrior. Beowulf कौन था? Warrior था. Anglo-Saxons were of dash tribe, 3 tribe. Anglo-Saxons के कितने tribe थे? 3 थे. What were their tribe name? उन tribe name के नाम क्या थे? Anglo-Saxon and Jute. Anglo-Saxon followed which religion? Anglo-Saxon कौन से रिलीजन को फॉलो करते थे? पैगन. एंग्लो सेक्सन माइग्रेटेड फ्रॉम नॉर्दर्न यूरोप. एंग्लो सेक्सन जो ट्राइब थे वो कहाँ से आए थे? नॉर्दर्न यूरोप से. हु वाज द फर्स्ट किंग ऑफ एंग्लो सेक्सन? एस्थलस्टन जो इसके फर्स्ट एंग्लो सेक्सन के किंग थे. हु इज द फादर ऑफ अमेरिकन लिटरेचर? अमेरिकन लिटरेचर का फादर कौन है? मार्क Taiwan. What is Vedisht? Vedisht क्या है? One of the old English Anglo-Saxon poem. Piers Plowman is the associate William Langlet. William Langlet जो old English of history of English literature के जो middle age था, middle age में से one of prominent writer थे ये. Who conquered the Anglo-Saxon in 1066? William and the Conqueror, William Duke of Normandy. What is the famous literary work in Middle English? Middle English में जो famous literary work कौन सा है? The anonymous poem Sir Gawain and the Green Knight is considered one of the masterpieces of English literature, Middle English literature. What are the 3 main influence on medieval literature? Medieval literature में कौन से 3 जो असरात थे main? Feudalism, church and the code of conduct called chivalry. What was the most popular from the literature during the Middle English period? मतलब Middle English period में सबसे ज़्यादा जो है वो popular कौन सी चीज़ थी? Didactic poetry. In the preface to lyrical ballad, William Wordsworth profound his poetic diction. यहाँ पर profound. What was the most middle age literature about? Religious and theological work. तो मिडिल एज का जो लिटरेचर है वो किसके बारे में ज़्यादातर है? रिलीजियस थी और थियोलॉजिकल वर्क. हु इज़ द फादर ऑफ रेनेसां? रेनेसां का फादर कौन है? पेट्रॉक. हु लिव्ड इन इंग्लिश बिफोर द एंग्लो सेक्सन? सेल्ट. एंग्लो सेक्सन से पहले इंग्लैंड में कौन रहता था? सेल्ट. हु इज़ द चाइल्ड ऑफ रेनेसां? रेनेसां का चाइल्ड कौन है? स्पेंसर. हु इज़ कॉल्ड द फादर ऑफ ट्रेजेडी? Aeschylus. Who is the father English drama? Christopher Marlowe. और ज़्यादातर जो है ये समझते हैं कि शेक्सपियर जो है वो फादर ऑफ इंग्लिश ड्रामा है. Who is the father of modern criticism? जॉन ड्राइडन. डॉक्टर जॉनसन ने इसे कहा था कि ये मॉडर्न क्रिटिक है. Who is the father of English poetry? जेफरी चॉसर. Who is the father of English literature? जेफरी चॉसर. Who is the father of English modern drama? Henrik Ibsen. जो जॉर्ज बर्नार्ड शॉ थे वो भी वन ऑफ द ग्रेटेस्ट मॉडर्न ड्रामेटिस्ट थे. वो इससे जो है इन्फ्लुएंस हुए थे. Who is the father of blank verse? Blank verse का फादर कौन है? हेनरी हावर्ड Earl of Surrey. Who is the father of prose? प्रोज का जो है फादर कौन है? विलियम टिंडाल है. हु इज़ द फादर ऑफ एसे? माइकल डी मंटीन. Who is the father of romantic poetry? William Wordsworth. Who is the modern father of poetry? T.S. Eliot. Who employed the blank verse at first? Norton and Sackville. Who used the blank verse the most? William Shakespeare. Who translated the Latin into English Bible at first? Sorry, मैंने Bible नहीं लिखा हुआ है. John Wycliffe. Who is known the morning star of Renaissance? Geoffrey Chaucer. Who is called Chaucer, the father of English poetry? John Dryden. John Dryden ने कहा कि Chaucer है वो English poetry के father हैं. Who introduced heroic couplet in English? Geoffrey Chaucer. Who is known as the Protestant Reformation? John Wycliffe. Who is known as the morning star of Reformation? John Wycliffe. Which book is known as the true prologue of Renaissance? Utopia by Thomas More. 1516 में से लिखा गया. Marlowe's all plays or tragedies. Who is called the poets of the poets? Charles Lamb called Spenser the poets of poets. The first monument of socialism? Utopia. The father of sonnet? Petrarch. Who is the father of modern English sonnet? Sir William Thomas Wyatt. Who is the father of English tragedy? Christopher Marlowe. Who is the father of English essay? Sir Francis Bacon. Who wrote the first novel in English? Daniel Defoe. रॉबिन्सन क्रूसो. ये जो है फर्स्ट नॉवेल था, ये प्रीवियस टेस्ट में भी आया था जो लेक्चरशिप की थी SPSC की. Who is the father of romantic poet? Robert Burns. Who is the first poet in English? Who is the first poet in English? Cadman. ये मिडिल एज का जो एक पोइट था Cadman. Who wrote the Comedy of Manners? William Congreve. Who wrote the Comedy of Humor? Ben Jonson, one of the great comedian critic. Who wrote the restoration comedy? Ephra Vaughan. Who wrote the sentimental comedy? Oliver Goldsmith. He is also known the father of sentimental comedy. Who is called 18th century the age of prose and reason? Matthew Arnold. Who used the heroic couplet at first? Chaucer. Who is the father of metaphysical poetry? John Donne. Ben Jonson wrote what kind of poetry? Lyrical. Who is the father of fiction? Herbert George Wells. Who is the father of English novel? Henry Fielding. Who is the father of modern novel? Samuel Richardson. Who is the founder of European prose? Sir Philip Sidney. Who is the father of English romantic comedy? Robert Greene.